back again with part 5, continuation from my previous video talking about my blended family and how fate stepped in and delivered what I needed. I needed to be a father to a daughter before becoming a father to a son, to steer me away from the savagery of tackle football, being that my generation of football is known as the old school, not as old as the 80s where they didn't, in the 80s, 70s, 60s, leather helmets, not. I'm talking about, graduated high school in the 90s, early 90s, so football was a contact sport that didn't have many safety rules to it as far as conditioning mind, body, and soul to pulverize one's opponent. Okay, so I have 3 children. I'm a dad. In fact, having my daughter instilled in me a new mindset. Okay, I didn't know what that mindset was gonna to be, where it was gonna lead me, but it led me after 22 years to develop a veteran-owned business while I was deployed in Saudi Arabia at Prince Sultan Air Force Base, and that was roughly September 25th, September 25th, 2022. Okay. So veteran-owned business. Dad's actively working goals is Dawg, Tagz.com, where we inspire, we motivate to help students concentrate on their goals in life. Okay. What every dad wants is to be there for their children. What every dad needs is for the children to understand what it is life is going to present to anybody, any given day. There could be a reality check on things that we take for granted. We can be the nicest person, the humblest person, but life is going to give you a memory that you may never have encountered, but that memory will give you experience and build a cachet library of memories that will help shape how you move and operate and plan during this thing we call living your life. Okay, life doesn't have to be about walking on eggshells. Okay, life doesn't have to be walking around strutting your stuff like I'm the biggest, baddest thing there ever was or ever will be. Life can be about what you put in, you will receive. You put in love, you're gonna receive love. You put in the hate, you're gonna get that hate. So whatever you deal, be ready to receive that same energy. Okay. So as a continuation from my previous post, now we got part 5, and part 5 is just the dad mindset that over time that wisdom comes to mind. And 7 years after the birth of my firstborn, my secondborn was my first son. And being a first-time father in this family for me, but it was my second child. And being that it was my second child, after I had returned home from basic training, U.S. Army, I still wasn't equipped with what I needed to be the best version of myself as a dad, right? Because there's financial, there's emotional support we must give to our children, whether it's a daughter, whether it's a son. Okay. Being a blended family, my first marriage didn't pan out to what I envisioned. And I remarried. And in the remarried relationship, my third child was born, a son. So total, I have one daughter and two sons. 7 years apart from my first child to my second child, 7 years apart from my second child to my third child. Okay, so that's a span of 14 years, 3 children. Okay, with that being said, I became a dad, and it was a learning process back in 2002. And the process began in 2002, but the learning process never ended, even with my third child being born 2014. Okay, now that my first child is an adult child, I have a teenage child and a school-age child. And each one of them has needs, and I understand that now. Each one of them has their separate identities, and I know that now. Each one of them needs dad to themselves, dad time. And I know that now. And dad is wearing many, many hats, because dad still has goals. Reverse engineer and then bring it back forward. My recommendation to my children and those who will listen to this knowledge and wisdom: complete the process, get your skills together, get your certifications together, get your graduation together, get all your paperwork together, get your bank account together, so that way when you bring a child into this life of living, you can create a lifestyle that you want, not what you need, check to check to check to check.